This creepy looking guy murders someone, hoping that it will help convince this lady to sleep with him. This guy's name is Larry Bill Elliott, and Bill is 51 years old, living in Maryland. Bill is a former Army counterintelligence officer, but he has a huge problem. He's married, but there's no passion in his marriage anymore. And so one day in 1999, he decides to cheat on his wife. So he secretly goes on his computer to this adult website to see if he can find some random woman to smash with. So one day, Bill is browsing through profiles on the site and he comes across this woman, Bunny 469. And Bunny is a 33-year-old former stripper. Bill looks at her pictures and admires her. And so he sends her a message. And here's the thing about Bunny. She's not just an average lonely woman looking for a casual hookup. She's on a mission. She specifically wants a sugar daddy who can finance her lifestyle. She's broke and needs someone to pay her bills. And so she returns Bill's message, and they message back and forth for a while, and they chat and they hit it off eventually. They meet up at a local restaurant and they get along. But she makes it very clear to him that she's not looking forward to smash with him. She specifically wants money so that she can turn her life around. But she's going to give him companionship. Larry agrees to it anyways. He'll help her pay the bills and stuff, and she'll provide non-physical companionship in return. And so Bill starts sending her money on a regular anytime she asks. He pays her phone bills, car payments, and house payments. He gives her a personal credit card that he pays for. He pays for her 2 kids to go to a private Catholic school. And over the course of 18 months, he finances her life by giving her an estimate of $450,000 US. But remember, he's married, so this whole time, he's somehow doing all this without his wife noticing or finding out. Now, obviously, he's taking a huge risk paying for all this, because at the back of his mind, he was hopeful that eventually she will change her mind and let him smash. Meanwhile, Bunny has no incentive to change her mind. I mean, the longer she can keep this relationship, the more her lifestyle will be financed. Now, even though our bills and stuff were being paid for, the truth of the matter is that her personal life wasn't that great, because she was in a long legal battle with her ex-boyfriend over the custody of their 2 children. And so Bunny happens to be talking to Bill one night, and this beef between her and the ex is bothering her. So she mentions it to him. And of course, Bill is trying to impress her. He wants to be a knight in shining armor. And so he's like, he'll take care of this. He's going to dig up some dirt on this guy. And by then, internet wasn't as advanced as it is now. So basically, he was going to physically stalk this man, and that is what he does. He starts driving from Maryland all the way to Virginia to the ex's neighborhood, hanging outside his place and taking pictures of him. He's creeping around to see if there's anything he can find out that will help Bunny win the custody battle. And so, Bill is not only paying for all her stuff, but he's also stalking her ex-boyfriend. And he's doing a lot for this woman whom he's not even romantically involved with. But whatever, he seems to be just fine with it until months pass by and he starts to get frustrated. All this while, I guess he looked at himself and is like, I do a lot for this woman, and the least she can do for me is let me smash. And so Bill starts pushing harder and harder for the lady to sleep with him, while getting more aggressive in his approach. Essentially, he's becoming a sex pest. He's like asking if the lady has changed her mind or something of the sort. But she keeps turning him down, saying no. And so over time, he gets more frustrated. But instead of moving on like a normal person or realizing that some people ain't attracted to him the way he thought, instead he gets someone else to blame. He decides that the reason Bunny isn't into him must be because she's still in love with her ex. And if the ex wasn't around, maybe she would notice how great he is and reward him with smashing. And this is where he secretly comes up with a plan. He is going to murder the ex. And so one night, he puts this plan into motion. He drives from Maryland down to Virginia to the ex's house. And he gets there And when he gets there, it's around 4 a.m. And so the ex is inside asleep. And so Bill goes up to the door and he knocks. Moments later, the ex answers it. And that is when Bill pulls out his revolver, points it at him, and boom! He unalives him right there. The ex's girlfriend who lives with him hears all this. And she comes out to check. And boom! Bill beats her up with the revolver and shoots her too. Then he flees the scene. Now eventually, police show up and they investigate all this and it's leading nowhere. But then, when Bill first arrived at the house at 4 a.m., he was standing outside his truck holding a flashlight, probably looking like a suspicious creep that he was. And a newspaper delivery driver just happened to be driving by and she saw him and since there had been a lot of vehicle breakdowns in that area, she assumed that could be what that could have happened. And so she called the police and she was able to describe him a bit and his pickup truck. Also, the police investigate Bunny because she was involved with the ex in this long legal battle. And so immediately, Bunny tells the police that maybe Bill has something to do with that. And so they go to Bill's house and they pull up and police spot the pickup truck parked outside. And this truck just happens to match the exact description that the newspaper delivery lady described. And so police start checking out this truck and Bill comes out and is like, that's my truck. And he starts talking to the police without a lawyer present, which means he's probably about to implicate himself. And so they take him to the police station and question him. He admits to having a sugar daddy type of relationship with Bunny, but he denies shooting anyone. But eventually, the police gather enough evidence against him and boom, he gets arrested. He goes into trial and is found guilty of both murders. He was sentenced to death and in 2009, he was executed by an electric chair.